I'm Kat with a C.
And I'm Kat with a K.
And this is
Two Cats in a Movie!
Welcome to our Batman episode. So when you binge watch this many Batman movies in a week, it does things to your brain. So don't be surprised if we start laughing hysterically. Okay, so let's get started. Let's journey with Batman through the years. We're going to start in 1943 with his first on-screen appearance. Take it away.
The Batman! A 15-part serial. Now this was starring Lou Wilson as Batman, Douglas Croft as Robin, and directed by Lambert Hilliard.
Mm-hmm.
The Caped Crusader of Gotham City battles Dr. Daka, Japanese mastermind of a wartime espionage sabotage group. Now, Daka has a radium-powered death ray that pulverizes walls, a classic alligator pit to dispose of his enemies, and he can turn men into electric zombies who do his bidding and transmit video signals to Daka's lab. Oh. Now, this Batman just happens to be a wartime detective spy. It's kind of like they crossed Batman with Dick Tracy and 007. It was very cute. It was well-written script, and it was very, very funny, patriotic, and adventurous serial for kids to enjoy at the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Yes. This is one of the ways Batman survived World War II, by becoming more patriotic and giving kids an at-home hero to emulate. The other way was moving to radio and the big screen. And while it moves a little slow, watching all these serials cut together, imagine yourself a 10-year-old little boy at the movie theater with your buddies, just wondering what's gonna happen next week. So we give The Batman 3 out of 5 paws, and you can watch it on Tubi. That brings us to the 1966 Batman the Movie. This starred Adam West as Batman, Burt Ward as Robin, Lee Merriweather as Catwoman, Cesar Romero as the Joker, Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, and Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. And it was directed by Leslie Martinson. So the dynamic duo faces 4 supervillains who plan to hold the world for ransom with the help of a secret invention that instantly dehydrates people. Holy hilarious antics, Batman! With serious acting and really hilarious antics, it was just great. Wonderful Bat vehicles. I think there's like 9 of them. Phenomenal cast with a couple of true legends, including Meredith Burgess, who was a great character actor. Meredith did not play the lead really often, and he's an incredible gem. And character actors really can make a movie. And we love that Alfred got in the action in this movie.
All right. So this just happened to be our first introduction to Batman, but we cut our bat wings on the 1990s cartoon series. More on that later, of course. So it's funny, it's goofy, it's ridiculous. It is extremely well acted for the outlandish nature of the script. You've got to love the 1960s overacting. And Adam West, oh, Adam West. There you go, Adam West. So we give Batman the movie 4 out of 5 paws, and you can watch it on Hulu. And if you want to have even more fun, watch the series on Tubi. All right, next up, we move to 1989 with Batman. Okay, this Batman stars Michael Keaton as Batman, Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale, the love interest, as well as Michael Gough as Alfred. And it's directed by Tim Burton. So the Dark Knight of Gotham City begins his war on crime with his first major enemy being Jack Napier, a criminal who becomes the clownishly homicidal Joker. That's right. Now, I hate this movie. I'm sorry, I really do. It's got horrible pacing. It was way too freaking long. It moves like molasses. There is too much Batman just being broody and go away world kind of thing. And it was really like they were trying to do film noir but mix in the 80s. And it is a combo that just does not work at all. It was horrible. Now, I like Tim Burton, but I am definitely not a fan of his his old stuff. I like his new stuff.
Yes.
He found his maturity and was no longer a brooding, angsty teen.
Her name's Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes, Bonham Carter. Yes. It's too dark. It's unnecessarily over dramatic and not like the 60s.
And there's too much focus.
Yes. There's too much focus on Vicky and the Joker and other people who aren't Batman.
Yeah.
Which, seriously, come on.
And their love triangle, the Joker and Batman and Vicky Vale, is just very avant-garde and weird
creepy,
and kind of out of left field. And Jack Nicholson did a brilliant job portraying the utterly insane Joker. But the brilliance of the Joker character is that he is chaos personified. But in this film, they gave him a backstory of narcissism as his motivator. So, not to mention that they made the Joker, Jack Napier, as he was, Bruce's parents' murderer, which isn't true to the comics. So I see why they did it for this script. I mean, it works, but I don't care for what they made the Joker in this film, even though Jack did a great job. So we give Batman 3 out of 5 paws, and you can watch it on Hulu. That brings us to the 1992 Batman Returns. So, of course, Michael Keaton is back as Batman. We have Michael Gough back as Alfred. Now we have Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, Danny DeVito as Penguin, and then Christopher Walken as the businessman Max Schreck. And it was, of course, directed again by Tim Burton. So while Batman deals with a deformed man calling himself the Penguin, who is wreaking havoc across Gotham with the help of Max Schreck, the cruel businessman, a female employee of Schreck's becomes the Catwoman, who has her own vendetta to settle.
I feel a trend coming on of focusing maybe in the wrong place.
This one did have better pacing, but a horrible script with terrible and disgusting innuendo.
It was
now Danny DeVito did do a wonderful job as the Penguin, and Michelle Pfeiffer's acting was equally good, but Catwoman's character was ridiculously over-feminized 90s claptrap. And yet again, like she said, we spend too much time with our villains and don't see enough of Batman. Pretty sure if your name is in the title, you should be in more than half of the film.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so Michael Keaton is a wonderful actor, and he does not get to flex his acting muscles in either Batman or... Woo! You okay?
I'm okay.
Do you know where you are?
We're in our studio. We're filming, right?
Do
I'm
you know
okay.
who you are?
I'm Batman.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Batman. Quick, Robin, to the Batcave.
Batman! Oh, right. Okay. So she's not coming back, apparently. All right. So, like I said, Michael Keaton, wonderful actor, not getting to flex his acting muscles in this Batman or Batman Returns. I mean, this is the man who played Mr. Mom. Who didn't laugh at that film? Not to mention, he's a wonderful super villain in the new Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, why... Now, why they tied one hand behind his, one behind, there they got, wee! I don't know why they did this to him. I don't. I just really don't. I mean, now they did finally get the wardrobe right by sticking specifically to 1940s film noir. But again, disgusting innuendo. Turn it off at that. So we give Batman Returns 2. Can it 2 out of 5 paws. And you can watch it on Hulu. Ooh, look. Okay. I like this one. My nose itches. 1995, Batman Forever. Starring Val Kilmer as Batman, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian. Yeah, that's right. And Chris O'Donnell shows up as Dick Grayson, and Michael Go. Michael Go is back as Alfred. He's not going anywhere.
Our director has changed.
Yes, it has. It's Joel Schumacher. Say that name 5 times fast. Okay, so Batman must battle former District Attorney Harvey Dent, who is now Two-Face, and Edward Nygma, the Riddler, with help from an amorous psychiatrist.
Very amorous. She can't make up her mind.
Amorous psychiatrist and a young circus acrobat who becomes his sidekick, Robin! Yay! Enter Robin. Woohoo! So now, definitely much funnier. They went a little more fantastical with this, with the sets, lots of bright neon colors. It's kind of like they decided this time to cross film noir with Mad Max, but it works. It's the proper balance in this one. Now, they focus more on Batman and his romance with Dr. Chase, which is a good thing because it leads to backstory. And actually, the love triangle between Batman, Bruce, and Dr. Chase is hilarious. I love that. I love it.
Yes, so much fun. Now, our villains. Jim Carrey is wonderful as the Riddler, and did we expect him to be any less? It's Jim Carrey. Although he acts a bit more insane instead of brilliant. And Tommy Lee Jones is wonderful as Two-Face, but again, going a bit more on the insane side. It's like they both needed to be a little Joker-esque. Yes, all Batman villains have a level of insanity. That's why we locked them up in Arkham. But not all are chaotic like the Joker. In the case of Harvey Dent in this movie, though, he has brain damage from this chemical, and so he's literally split his personality into good versus evil, and these are warring sides. And that makes sense. It does. However, the Riddler is born because Bruce Wayne won't fund Ed Nygma's mind-controlling invention, and his invention makes him smarter, so he should become calmer, not more insane.
No.
And there's a really funny reference to 1966 Batman with "Holy Rusted Metal, Batman!"
It's towards the end of the film.
Yes, watch out for it. So we give Batman Forever 4 out of 5 paws. And you can watch this one on Hulu. That brings us to the 1997 Batman and Robin with George Clooney as Batman, Chris O'Donnell back playing Robin. Once again, Michael Gough is Alfred. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. Alicia Silverstone is welcomed as Batgirl. And again, Joel Schumacher is directing.
Schumacher. He doesn't make shoes, he mocks them.
Oh, Schumacher. So Batman and Robin try to keep their relationship together, even as they must stop Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy from freezing Gotham City, not to mention adding a new member of the team, Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
So George and Chris have better chemistry than Val and Chris as Batman and Robin. That being said, they kept Robin's character as the angsty teen instead of growing him and maturing him, just so he could relate to Batgirl's angsty teen better. It was a poor script choice. Alicia does a good job with a limited character. She really did. And we're all really sad that this was Michael Go's last portrayal of Alfred, because he really is the second best Alfred. We'll get to the first later.
He was, the Alfred standard for a long time.
He was, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so this one goes a little too ridiculous, but there's something very cool in it. So there's a cameo by John Glover, who's the voice of the Riddler in the animated series. In the animated series. In the movie, he plays Dr. Jason Woodrue. That's right, Woodrue. And he's the creator of Bane and Poison Ivy. In the movie. Now, this ridiculousness, like I said, goes absolutely off the charts. Like we said, the last time they had a balance, and now they've gone full on Mad Max just with neon colors. It's like Mad Max and mole rats. So there are way too many storylines going on. We have new characters. We have old characters. We have characters acting the same as they have always same, even though they matured at the end of the last one.
And they all must have equal screen time.
Yes, I know. I hate this. I hate this. Like, poi. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to be so funny, and it just failed flat, which I feel bad for, because they're a great cast of actors.
So what do we give it?
We give it 2. Count it. 1, 2. Out of 5 paws, and you could watch it on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now for my absolute personal fave of the 90s. Batman the Animated Series! Woohoo! So this was from 1992 to 1995, and it has the voices of Kevin Conroy as Batman. Oh, I can't say his name.
Ephraim,
say the last part.
Zimbalist Jr.
as Alfred Pennyworth. Bob Hastings as Commissioner Jim Gordon. Lauren Lester as Robin. Mark Hamill.
Yay!
That's right, also known as Luke Skywalker as the Joker. Now, the plot of the overall series plot is that the Dark Knight battles crime in Gotham City with the occasional help from Robin and Batgirl. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the best. This is my Batman.
It's the best of the 90s. Absolutely, yes, hands down.
Yeah, they did such a great job, because I know it's a kid's movie, but it really works. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to elaborate on this. I just love it, and the nostalgia of it.
It's a childhood favorite.
It is. Mm-hmm. So we give it 5 out of 5 paws, and you can watch it on HBO's Max and join in the revelry.
Yes. A new era of Batman begins, and here we go. 2005, Batman Begins, starring Christian Bale as Batman, Michael Caine as Alfred, Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon, and Liam Neeson as Ducard, and it's directed by the incomparable Christopher Nolan. So, after training with his mentor, Batman begins his fight to free crime-ridden Gotham City from corruption. So we have angry Bruce, molded into Batman with Playboy Bruce facade. Christian Bale is impeccable as Batman and Bruce. Michael Caine is the best Alfred by far. Really see the surrogate father figure in his Alfred. And Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox was inspired, focusing more on Lucius's inventor side than his business side, which I really loved.
Yes, and it's nice because, he's in the cartoon, and this is the first movie to take advantage of him.
Yes.
So, in case you didn't know, DC stands for Detective Comics. And Batman is a shining example of a detective.
Yes.
We truly see this highlighted again and again in Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan created such a realistic Batman that you truly expect him to be walking around New York City. At least I always do. Now, the movie is full of great lines with good messages, such as what Thomas Wayne says to his son Bruce about falling. And why do we fall, Bruce?
Why? Why do we fall?
So we can learn to pick ourselves up. Now, we give Batman Begins 5 out of 5 paws, and you can watch it on HBO Max. All right, that's right. So 2008, The Dark Knight. That's right. So again, Christian Bale is back as Batman. Michael Caine is Alfred. Morgan Freeman is Lucius Fox. Gary Oldman is Jim Gordon. Aaron Eckhart joins the cast as Harvey Dent. Heath Ledger plays the Joker. And Christopher Nolan, of course, directs.
Yes.
So when the menace known as the Joker, that guy right over there, wreaks havoc and chaos on the people of Gotham, Batman must accept one of the greatest psychological and physical tests of his abilities to fight injustice. I love this movie. I love it. I just love it. So in this movie, I have to say again, love it. So in this movie, we see Batman pinning his hopes of retirement on Harvey Dent being able to lawfully clean up the city. In Bruce's retirement dream, he would run off with his childhood love, Rachel Dawes, who is played by Katie Holmes in Batman Begins, but is recast as Maggie Gyllenhaal in The Dark Knight. And oh, how happy we were for that.
Yes.
I mean, Maggie's a great actress and she did a great job, but Maggie as Rachel is just so much easier to dislike over Katie's doe-eyed Rachel. I mean, it really is. So Maggie's Rachel is downright mean to Bruce in this movie. She's awful. She's just awful. She's accusing him of being a self-centered glory hog, unwilling to give up the spotlight, and completely missing how self-sacrificing Batman is. In both films, she is a naive lawyer that thinks you can fix a broken system by following the law inside that broken system. Not advocating for chaos and anarchy, but this is still naive. So Harvey Dent is a man who follows the law to the letter. He is a lawful man, but he's an untruthful man. Remember his coin?
Yeah.
And Rachel has a blind spot for Harvey, thinking that lawful and truthful are synonymous. Now, that being said, Aaron Eckhart's portrayal of Harvey and Two-Face was spot on.
Yes.
He did a wonderful job. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Speaking of villains, let's talk Heath Ledger's Joker. So a side note first.
Right?
No side notes.
No, side note. No. Why so serious? No, okay.
Side note, Heath and I shared a birthday, and I had a big crush on him. And I can tell you where I was and exactly what I was doing when I heard the news that he had overdosed. A terrible time in my life. So it was a long time before I could watch this movie again, knowing it was the role that stole Heath from the world. But that is why you shouldn't go to those dark places without God as your anchor back to the light. Having said my piece, no one could have done a better job playing this villain. It was just absolutely amazing. Heath's Joker embodied evil and was trying to prove that any good man can become the villain if given the right catalyst. And finally, Gary Oldman is who I always picture as Gordon, whenever I think of Gordon. So we give The Dark Knight 5 out of 5 paws. And you can watch this one also on HBO Max. That brings us to 2012's The Dark Knight Rises. So Christian Bale, of course, is back as Batman. Michael Caine as Alfred. Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox. Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon. And we have Anne Hathaway as Catwoman and Tom Hardy as Bane. And of course, Christopher Nolan directing. So 8 years after the Joker's reign of anarchy, Batman, with the help of the enigmatic Catwoman, is forced from his exile to save Gotham City from the brutal guerrilla terrorist Bane. While I didn't really care for Anne Hathaway's portrayal of Catwoman, I really loved her relationship with Bruce Wayne. This was a good script, it really was, and particularly the ending. Showing Batman retired with the woman he loves and Alfred unshackled from Gotham City was a truly inspired originality.
Yes. This is a proper trilogy because everything is tied up with a nice black ribbon. We revisit our first villain through his daughter trying to carry out her father's original plan to destroy Gotham.
That's Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
That's right. Okay, so we see all of our heroes carrying on the fight for Gotham, and we get the hope of a new Batman in Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character.
How disappointed were we that they never did that?
We're so excited.
Do you share our disappointment?
So Christopher Nolan, please do more Batman with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes.
Okay, so now I cried the first time I watched this film. I cried the second, the third, the fourth, when I watched it last week. Like, you cry even though you know it's got happy endings, but you cry because the actors have just brought these characters to life. And we hate to see it end. Like, you know it's the ending and you just don't, you're just not ready. Yeah. You want more?
Yep.
So we give The Dark Knight Rises 5 out of 5 paws, and you can watch it on HBO Max.
Yes.
Ooh, hey, we waited a few years.
Yes, we did.
2016, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I like Man of Steel. I hate this film. So it's starring Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yep.
Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yes.
Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Amy Adams as Lois Lane. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. And Jeremy Irons as Alfred. And the director is Zack Snyder. And you're already confused with all the people that I said. So fearing that the actions of Superman are left unchecked, Batman takes on the Man of Steel while the world wrestles with what kind of hero it really needs. Okay. Excuse me for a second. I could get serious for this.
Yes.
After watching the director's cut of this film, I prayed to God for him to give me back the last 3.5 hours of my life. He said we must live with the consequences of our actions. And I can agree if Zack Snyder, Chris Terrio, and David S. Goyer can live with the consequences of their choices. Oh, here's why I don't like this. They wrote and directed a script that makes no sense whatsoever to someone who is unfamiliar with Batman offshoots all over the place. Yes. You haven't done all the other stuff, you don't know what's going on, and it's annoying. Only if you have read the comics and watched a fair amount of the many TV shows will you fully understand what's going on. Now, we can appreciate die-hard fans.
Absolutely. I've got nothing against die-hard fans.
We have friends who are this way. Yes. I love them. Because they explain things to me. But why alienate more than a third, more than half, more than a third, like
2/3 at least.
Yes. Why alienate all of these people who just don't know this?
And you punish them for not having the same knowledge.
Because you have to sit through this and it's long and annoying. Now, the only reason we knew we were missing information is because we asked a friend who's actually not a diehard. He watched the movie and then learned a few things because he went on researched. And that's just, why do I have to research a movie to be able to understand it?
Why do I have to watch 60 hours of other stuff to understand a 3.5-hour movie?
Right? Right. Oh, it's just, frustrating.
And all they had to do.
Oh, that's right. It's really, really simple. All they had to do was the writers or director just needed to put a disclaimer at the beginning for more insights into this battle. Check out these shows and comics, or even just put a few little lines in the film that give you hints at what's happened. They don't have to tell you the whole thing. Just sort of the basic information.
Okay. It's okay. We don't have to watch it again. It's okay. All right. So we've been reviewing Batman for a while now here in this episode. Has anyone asked the question, why a mask and a cape? We all know capes are bad from Edna Mode. So why, Batman? Why a cape? There is a clue in this film. If you look at the movie posters, when Bruce and his parents are coming out of the film, you will notice that they just went to see The Mark of Zorro. His parents' murder imprinted Zorro in his mind as a defender of justice, and he took the cape and mask from Zorro and made it his own.
Brilliant.
Yes, so this is the first good thing in the movie. And the second good thing is all the actors really did a great job with their roles. But I especially enjoyed Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Yes.
What a job. Can't wait to see more of him in this role. But we have to give Batman vs. Superman 2 out of 5 paws. You can watch this one on HBO Max. That brings us to 2017's Lego Batman! Batman is voiced by Will Arnett. Michael Cera is Robin. Rosario Dawson is Batgirl. Ralph Fiennes as Alfred. Zach Galifianakis is a great Joker. And it's directed by Chris McKay. A cooler-than-ever Batman must deal with the usual suspects as they plan to take over Gotham City and rule it, while discovering he has accidentally adopted a teenage orphan who wishes to become his new sidekick. So, everything is awesome! Everything is cool when you're part of a team! Everything is awesome when you're living a dream! Okay, so it's the wrong song, but the meaning very much applies to this film. The story in this one is actually somewhat a historical review of Batman as a whole. So when Batman came on the scene in 1939, he was perceived as being too harsh. So they added Robin. Then there were concerns of two single guys hanging out way too much. So they added Batgirl along with some other family members. In this film, Batman learns the importance of family and working as a team. Plus, Will is just awesome as Batman. His voice, his rapping, it's great.
Yes. Now, it's super, super, super funny. And honestly, after watching all the serious Batman, it was such relief. And okay, so I think that they tried and succeeded in referencing. Well, they refresh a little bit. It's all
yeah,
Lego.
but
referencing everything that is Batman. Everything.
Yes.
And yes, it's a kid's film, but there are wonderful life lessons in this movie that every adult should know and learn.
Yep.
So,
you're my best friend, and friends are family. You're my best friend, and friends are family. Except I'm actually your family.
You're my best friend,
No. Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
That's enough.
All right. All right, so we give Lego Batman 5 out of 5 paws.
Yay!
And you can watch it on HBO Max.
We have come to it. The whole reason for the Batman episode is
2022's The Batman. All right, now this is starring Robert Pattinson as Batman, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul, what's his name? Paul Dano as the Riddler, Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon, John
Turturro.
There you go, as Carmine Falcone, Andy Serkis as Alfred, and Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We didn't know that going in, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because that was awesome.
Yes. And of course, directed by Matt Reeves. When the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. It's okay. Take a breath. Okay. Just so everyone understands and nobody else seems to have caught this, except for maybe a few people on YouTube.
Yeah.
This whole Batman movie is an origin story. It's like the first 20 minutes of Batman Begins is this entire movie.
Yes.
It's him growing into Batman. So whatever is that? It's an origin. Batman. What did I say?
Batman is full of anger and depression.
Right.
He's angry, depressed Batman.
He is. You see, he confuses me. But he does a good job. So he's channeling that anger as vengeance against those little itty-bitty criminals that are wreaking havoc in the city. In this movie, it's about him discovering Batman's true useful power and that he needs to also have Bruce Wayne as an alter ego. Now, Matt Reeves, who also directed this, and Peter Craig wrote a script that pays homage to Batman's past, but also made this Batman relevant to what is going on in America today. An example of this is that they address big city corruption, but make it very, very clear that if you say a few corrupt cops make them all corrupt, then you are skewering the truth to fit your own agenda. One bad apple does not make a whole bad bushel.
Yeah. Now that we've discussed their brilliant script, let's talk cast. So I am partial to Robert Pattinson. We all know why.
She's
I don't
a
have to
Twilight
say
fan.
it. You said it! I said you didn't have to say it! And there is a wonderful, wonderful joke where Gordon says, while Batman's in the room, Gordon talks to somebody. He goes, "Come on in. He doesn't bite." I lost it. I just kept laughing. So Pattinson was the perfect guy to play young, angry, hurting Bruce/Batman. And Zoe Kravitz has mad fight skills, probably something she picked up from Divergent, and is the first woman ever to play Catwoman twice. She is the voice of Catwoman in Lego Batman. But can you really call it playing Catwoman twice when she only had 3 lines in Lego Batman? I'm gonna say yes. She disagrees. And hats off to Paul Dano as the Riddler. He does crazy so well. Ooh, we expect big things from Paul. So we give The Batman, in case you weren't paying attention, that's the title we started with in 1943, 5 out of 5 paws. And you can watch this one. It's still in theaters, but it will be coming to HBO Max on April 19th. So, of all of the Batmans we reviewed today, tell me, Kat, what was your perfect pick?
I'm gonna have to go with that my perfect Batman is Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. Because in my opinion, it's the best cinematic Batman so far. So I really don't think they can top it.
So, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, We hope you enjoyed our show. We know that we didn't get to all of the Batman. There's a very good reason for that.
Yes.
So let us know what your favorites are in the comments below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Okay.
Yes, they share. They can share. It's okay. They can share. And until next time, keep searching for that perfect Batman pick.